Did you know YouTube takes 50% of each one of your memberships right out of it? Fuck, man. Sarah Espinosa. I feel bad for Battlegrounds, man. Or what's it called now? Player Unknowns PUBG Player Unknowns. It's literally Player Unknowns Battlegrounds. I feel bad for them. I right now with their game, it almost feels like, I mean, they are sitting on a, I don't know. Like, are they doing anything over there? Are they going to make another game? Are they going to expand the universe of Battlegrounds? What's going on? What's really happening? Anyways. There we are, champs. There we are, champs. I might start a pro Battlefield team. I just got to figure out how to pay 50 people. 50 professional players. Hey, we can have some fun. I'll tell you, we can have some fun games on this, man. We can create some good content out of this. I mean, we have the dock casting table, right, champs? Man, we can have some fun. Change the rules of war. Okay, all right. All right. How come every single time I watch a piece of Battlefield, it's like in the chat, Jack Frags, new video. New video. Is he like the only one that makes Battlefield videos and does them at a good quality?
Battlefield 20 dropped a huge bombshell.
It just feels good to hear his voice, huh? It's like like immediately just.
This will be one of 3 available multiplayer experiences.
You know what? If there's a game that I would want to play with Jack Frags, if they had co-op, it would probably be like the new Morrowind or something. You know? Imagine playing Morrowind with Jack Frags. Jack Frags. You know what I mean? Like, what an incredibly gentle adventure we have ahead of us, and he's gonna break everything down.
In the new game, featuring content at launch from BF 1942, Bad Company 2, BF3, and 2042.
Oh, let me catch up on some of these donations. Paul Stepbro, thank you for the 25. I only send money to winners and champions. 2-time champions, to be exact. Point at it. I got so many I got so much press here now. It's like I'm pointing at this guy's camera. I'm pointing at her camera. Pointing at Johnny's camera over here. I got a lot of people just... That's the camera right there, baby. Boom. Jacob R, thank you for the 10 and super chat. Doc plus Halo equals VSM. I turned proximity chat on, by the way. That was the first thing I did when I installed Halo today. I said, I want voice chat on for both teams. Paul Step Pro, thank you for the 25. HSGR, Septic Eye Revolution, welcome. Alex Bird, thank you for the Australia, mate! $159.99. Hey, Doc, do the purple snakes pay staff to dislike your video? Pathetic. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, Alex. A lot of phonies over there, man. Big time. Frank Dukes, thank you for the 5 and super chat. Hey, Doc, my main man, my 4-year-old daughter loves you. She wants to watch Dr. Disrespect. She says, this fine Friday, we will dine to your stream. Okay, so, if Z Lane and I, things are, like, if he's not carrying his weight like usual or something, you know, Doc's gonna get upset. The 2-time might get upset. So just, as just sort of a, kind of a warning, if you see the animation start to rise, you might want to just tell her to hop on her iPad, put the headphones on, and just kind of maybe scoot into another room, man. I'm just looking out for you.
I was lucky enough to be shown a detailed behind-the-scenes presentation about this on Tuesday. It's
how the hell did you get that access?
Quite complex, but I'm going to break.
What am I guy? What's my agent doing?
Break it down for you now as simple as possible. At its core, think of this as a giant Battlefield toy box, and within that is an experience builder, giving the players the options to create, share, and discover. You'll be able to make your own custom servers and game modes using builder tools and a logic editor, mixing and matching content from all of those Battlefield games that I just mentioned. At launch, this will feature 6 remade fan favorite maps, as well as the 7 all-out warfare maps from 2042, bringing the total to 13. The remade maps are as follows. From BF 1942, we've got Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein. From Bad Company 2, Valparaiso and Arica Harbor. And from Battlefield 3, Caspian Border and No Shark Canals. These maps are all built on the new Frostbite engine, rebuilt assets in 4K 60 FPS with the latest graphics and reimagined with the new tech available. For example, the 1942 maps will now feature destruction and weather effects which they didn't originally have. And Valparaiso will have a low tide version as an option to accommodate 128 players if you want to do that. All of these maps can be played with their original player counts too, and on the new consoles and PC, you can run up to 128 players if you choose to. PS4 and Xbox One will be 64 players only, the same as their all-out warfare experiences. Additionally, they said that as new content is added to the game in live service, it will also be added to Portal as well. Some of the fan favorite weapons, vehicles, and gadgets have been remade too. This isn't just about maps. I've made some graphics here to showcase what will be available for those eras of games when 2042 releases. Feel free to pause the screen, screenshot and share any of this if you'd like to. They've got all the big hitters in here, from the M16A3 to the Kar98, the T90, the Havoc. I'm just so glad that they added the B-17 bomber, otherwise known as the Flying Fortress. weapons from all of these old Battlefield games plus the new 2042 weapons. Do you want to make a zombies mode? Do you want to do 64 knives versus 64 repair tools? Do you want to see if 20 Tiger tanks could beat 5 M1 Abrams tanks? You make whatever you want really within the limits of the builder. So what are those limits and how do you build stuff? We got to see a demo of a snipers versus shotgun mode being built, and this is done on a web-based platform. The devs told
I like that game mode already, man. I know it's like probably one of the most basic, like, hey, but you can't go wrong with a sniper shotty.
Told us that web-based means that they can update it freely without having to patch the game, and it is accessible from anywhere, and you don't need a copy of the game to build stuff either, but you will need an EA account. We were then presented with a basic building tool to start with that offered some official preset templates for game modes like Conquest, Rush, Team Deathmatch, etc. And you can then choose that to build off of where most of the initial legwork is done already, or you can start from scratch, completely custom. You then pick
100%.
your eras. Do you want BF3 versus BC2, for example, or do you just want to make a vanilla 2042 server? You then pick your maps and map rotations, and what's cool about this is that they've made bubbles of maps as an option too. So say you didn't want the whole map.
Can you tweak any of the existing game modes? Meaning, like, I just want to know, like, how much can you do it? You know what I mean? For example, like, here's just a stupid example, like, but the size of a capture zone or capture area, can you mess around with the size of that? You know, can you blow it out, or can you just, like, own it in on one little small shack? Probably not. I'm thinking probably not.
Said you wanted to build a smaller experience, but with 128 players, RPG only, a bit of chaos, and you only want it at the gas station on Caspian border. You then choose the team size. So do you want 40 players?
Yes,
max?
everyone's saying yes in the chat.
Asymmetric teams? Do you want to go to the extreme of 127 German World War II soldiers with knives versus one player with an M240B light machine gun? Or do you want the typical 64v64 experience? Next, you can select what classes are available. Do you want to disable snipers? Do you want to make it engineer only?
No, no!
A lawn that looks like this, but your lawn
That's a good-looking lawn.
More like this. Then you should click right here and check out.
You can go into that further and disable or enable specific
Doc, when are we going to
weapons,
see you
guns,
start a
attachments,
OnlyFans?
gadgets?
Well,
Do you
I got
take
so much
frag
meat
rounds
on
or
my
shotguns?
thighs.
Well, just turn them off.
It'll look
And this is
really
where it
awkward.
starts to get really crazy, and we've really been
So I gotta
giving
cut
a
down
boost
on
to
my
the
thighs.
console. The next section was insane, and it offered a level of customization that I'd never seen before in a Battlefield game. And I'm just going to read through some of these toggleable and slider options here, and just think about what this means. So you can adjust and change friendly fire, projectile speed, weapon damage, weather, headshot multipliers, aim assist, force reloading of whole magazines,
Aim
squad
assist
revive,
off.
slide, sprint, prone, sprint strafe, fall damage, health regen. Turn the HUD on and off for all players, so you can make a proper hardcore mode. Disable the compass, disable pinging. Anything that you could think of was there. And then after that section, there's AI. Do you want AI to backfill your server if a player leaves? Do you want to test it with all AI? What's the difficulty of the AI? How many AI are allowed on the server? If you wanted to, you could make a PvE experience where it's you in a squad with 3 friends, let's say no health regen, limited ammo versus 124 hard mode AI, and no respawns allowed. And finally, this is the icing on the cake. As an option, you can then go into a more advanced version of the tool known as the Logic Editor with scripting, and this is going to really enable special experiences to be built. In this, you can create and edit actions, you can create rules, values, variables, subroutines, literals, control actions, array. You can script the ability to create a server message and notifications when something happens in the game or when someone joins. And then when you're finished, you're all done, you give your server a name, a description, a password if you want, and it will generate tags which will let players know what kind of experience it is, and players will be able to filter tags to find something that they want to try. You then have the option to share it privately or publicly, and it will generate an alphanumeric share code, which you could keep private, send it to a friend. You could share a version of it online that other people could launch your game mode off. They could play, they could look at it and modify it if they wanted to. Is something not quite working as you want to with your game mode? Well, share the editable version of it with someone so they can take a look. Maybe they'll make some suggested logic changes, and then it's your choice if you want to make those changes or not. And as I previously said, if you want to keep it simple and you want to ignore all that and just make a vanilla BF 2042 dedicated server with your favorite maps and rotations and game modes, you could do that. You don't have to get involved with any of the logic stuff if you don't want to, because they've got all those official DICE presets there that you can quickly choose from. So keeping it more vanilla, let's say you wanted to make a World War II server that just runs the 2 remade 1942 maps and only 1942 weapons, gadgets, and vehicles.
People are saying Game of the Year candidate.
Or do you want to have a server that's all of the 2042 maps?
If they come out
specialists, then make a server that's.
If they come out of the block with this, and everything is, for the most part, bug-free, smooth sailing. I mean, that's the tough part, right? And people are just really enjoying this game, you know? And it hits all the check boxes that people have been wanting. I mean,
BF3.
It seems like a pretty big game right now, especially when they introduce Battle Royale in like March next year.
Era teams and classes only, but give them the 2042 weapons and gadgets. The possibilities here are eye-opening. As for discoverability, in this portal section of BF 2042, DICE will offer some of their own pre-made custom experiences in a carousel, which are easy to find. But they will
Is
also
it cross-platform? Absolutely.
Popular community creations too.
Any AAA game now is cross-platform.
Like that's in the. Wrapping things up at the end of the presentation, there was a
any big one that's coming out. It has to be now.
Interesting responses in that. Official guides will be coming. There'll be good tutorials teaching players more complicated things in that logic editor with Wikipedia-like pages and info. They also expect that the community will make their own video guides and databases. The old school classes are in those respective games. So for BF3, as an example, you'll have Assault, Support, Recon, and Engineer. In BF 1942, you'll have stuff like the Anti-Tank class. You can use the vehicle calling system across eras. There's currently no geometry or spatial editor. You can't disable specialists. You can't have multiple eras on one team at launch, but you can switch up and out the hardware that they use. There's a classic tuning preset, so you can restore some.
Okay, I'm getting. I gotta like take a break here, man. Is this like information overload?
You've got admin controls on the servers. You can boost through the rank.
All right.
To exponentially grow what's possible there. And what else could Ripple Effect add to Portal? That is just so cool to me. The time traveling.
Nice.